Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari and my guest this morning is Chuks Wonko, publisher and social commentator. That's my guest in the first instance. We're also expecting Libros Oshoma, lawyer and public affairs analyst to
Good morning
join us
to
very
everybody.
shortly. Thank you very much. Was that good morning was for you or it was for you and Libros?
For me, when Libros comes in, we say good afternoon or good night.
Okay then. So I hope you had a great weekend. I mean,
I did.
yeah. Okay. So, well, last year there are all sorts of things, but I beg your pardon, not last year. Last week the president, arrived from the OIC meeting, and hello, there were critics. There were critics. Why did the president go off to Organization of Islamic Country meetings 2 minutes after his inauguration? I mean, should that be first on his itinerary and that kind of a thing? I don't know. I wonder how much does it matter to you? Just taking it out of the whole Islamic thing, because yeah, we've been a member of OIC. It's not this president or the one before him or the one before that took us into OIC. I think that goes back to IBB days, remember? And there was something of an outcry then. But I think it's since been sort of settled down into one of those transnational things that countries will do. And so the president was off there. President Jonathan, I was reminded, had actually attended that meeting. I don't know. Give me your thoughts on the criticism that this early or so very fast after his inauguration, because if he had a plan and if it was based on all other things being well, I'll be re-elected, why not?
Yeah, why not? It's the issue of religion is a very sensitive issue in Nigeria.
Very.
Especially when you're on TV. The speed with which TV revolves is also what makes it very dangerous. When you speak, people think they are hearing what you're saying, and a lot of times you're misquoted or quoted out of context and all of that. But let's deal with it under the submission to the Holy Spirit, particularly on my own part. I know that as a Christian, I'm using the word Christian because you are honest enough to recognize that this is a Muslim-related organization, and that is what it is. The sad part for me, the only sad part for me, has nothing to do with Mr. President. It had to do with the fraudulent and the serpentine manner in which Nigeria was drafted into this organization by a former president in 1986. Buhari is somebody that I admire, somebody that I love. In fact, a lot of people, when they see me, they think that I belong to his party and all that. But having said that, I think that the timing was wrong. That is number one. Number two, at the inception of Buhari's administration, I used to get press releases for my magazine, for the MDG Global magazine. Femi Additional would send me releasing and we put it online and we put it in our magazine and all that. And we're able, those of us who have opportunity of coming to TV, we're able to follow what government intentions are over whatever issue it is. This last April, I got a press release from the office of the Vice President here, from our friend Olufemi Oke, about the early warning alert and all that. At no cost to government and to the office of the president, we used it for this our magazine. This last April. So that is what has been going on. So if I come on TV, I basically have a first-hand information, the reasons behind action. For this one, after a while, we stop getting those press releases from the presidency. I know your friends, you lose them when they get into power and all that. And I don't have the strength to be running around for my business and chasing people. So I have left it at that. On my own, I was on my own when Femi Oke, our friend, in-house friend, sent me this press release, and we used it. It's not even aware that we used it. I'm sure for other regular newspapers, they pay for it. But for us, my civic responsibility as a citizen is to use it, and I've used it. Now, I'm just saying that if I have been communicated with or to effectively by the presidency, the reasons behind why he has to attend this meeting, maybe I'll be okay. But the point is that it's Nigeria an Islamic nation. That's where the issue of leadership comes up.
Okay.
And Nigeria has been bedeviled by lack of leadership, because that leadership allows you to be sensitive, to people like me who is a Christian, but I'm your lover, I'm your supporter. And I pray for you, I pray for leadership because I'm under a commandment to do so for leaders. It doesn't matter whether you're a Muslim or a Christian leader.
Which was the point the newspapers reported Pastor Kumuyi.
Kumuyi, that's what he was referring
yesterday.
to, because there's a man called Cyrus.
He wasn't specific about this OIC.
Yeah, but generally, talking about the attitude of Christian
because
leadership.
Because of the criticism that has come to bear.
Now, you know, Nigerian will
he has said that, no, that's not what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break so I could bring on Libros that I had introduced in absentia anyway. So he'll come on and say his good mornings. Stay with us, please. Hello again. Didn't quite realize it. We've been joined now by Libros Oshoma. He's a public affairs analyst, and we've been hearing from Chuks Nwoko from the top of the program. Good morning, Libros.
Good morning.
Indeed. So, there's been some critical noises, shall we say, from sections of the society because President Buhari jetted out to go attend a 57-member summit of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, not Islamic countries, as we often make a mistake and say. It's actually Organization of Islamic Cooperation. The main thing, you know, I don't know. First of all, the first salvo came from CAN, Christian Association of Nigeria. But the keynote, I understand, was to address the, for all the countries, member countries, 57 of them, by the way, for all the 57 member countries to unite, come together, combat terrorism and violent extremism. Religion was never on the agenda.
Whether religion is on the agenda or not, is, for me, is immaterial. The most important thing here is if you benefit from any religion, if what will benefit us, what will be of benefit to us as a nation, if it will benefit us, I don't see any reason why why our president shouldn't, attend such meetings. As I'm here now as an individual, if going to my village shrine as a Christian would benefit me and my community, why won't I do it?
Although I understand, what you mean.
When I'm saying going to a shrine, not going to worship in the shrine.
I understand what you mean. What you're
if
saying
collaborating,
is that, yes, we should
with
not
my
rule
chief priests,
any opportunities out.
Exactly. And I remember, because of the issue, or because of the place of religion in our country, ditto Africa, we are such a religious country but less godly. We hold on tenaciously.
Well, I wouldn't know about that. That's
I'm telling you, that's my position. Yes.
That's your position.
We hold on tenaciously to religious dogma and leave out the godliness in it. And so, as a young boy growing up in Auchi, we were free to attend Makaranta, that's Islamic school, with our peers who were Muslims, even though we were Christians, without our parents raising eyebrows. Because religion wasn't such a big deal.
Then
We were free to join our folks during fasting, to eat together, even during Salah. Like before the program, I recited the Fatiha to you.
yeah, because I had checked it out. I said, go ahead and recite the Fatiha.
And I did.
You did.
And our parents weren't, scared that we were being Islamized. The same thing with our Muslim brothers joining us during Salah and during Palm Sundays. And in school, we were taught IRK and Bible knowledge. Some of us who were Christians...
IRK as in Islamic religious knowledge?
Yes. And our parents didn't shout, oh, our children are being Islamized. It was knowledge to us. And at that point, that was where I learned also that Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did also, instructed that we should seek knowledge as far as China, because then China was seen as, the end of the world. But what we have now is that at every turn, our political leaders, once they are out of the scheme of things, when they are together, You don't hear marginalization. You don't hear religion. But the moment they are out of favor, that's when they begin to play these ethnic and religious cards and sentiment to further divide us. And so for the rest of us who do not really understand and appreciate the importance of togetherness, we hold on tenaciously to it. The Pope, as I speak, we can't be more Catholics than the Pope. The Pope, as I speak, is preaching a message of peace. The Pope went to Dubai and visited a mosque. If it was in Nigeria, I wonder what we would say. Pope John Paul also did the same thing. Look at what just happened in Ghana also. We are first and foremost human before religion. So if the essence of the OIC is for countries to come together, because especially we can't shy away from the fact that you have some, extremists, Islamic extremists, who also are giving that religion a different name. And so if Islamic countries decide to come together with collaboration of some other countries who have Muslims, to say, look, how do we confront this menace? How do we also reorientate our people? I don't see anything wrong with it. And so rather than look at the issues and the benefits.
Khan probably was in error when it said that the whole thing was unconstitutional.
No, it is not. The Constitution simply says Nigeria is a secular state. Remember during IBB, the matter was debated back and forth and all of that, thank God you just read it. It is not Organization of Islamic Countries, but collaboration, cooperation, synergy. And so you can't rule out the fact that there are Muslims in Nigeria, same way there are Christians. And so that's why, same way I'm free to practice any religion. But if there's need for us to collaborate together to fight a common enemy, would I say, because, okay, let me give you an instance. When you see Nigerians play a football match, in a competitive match, do we identify who is a Christian or who is a Muslim amongst us? The most important thing is that there's a common goal we want to win. When Ahmed Musa scored at the World Cup, everybody, Christians, Muslims, celebrated him. And so, if it means coming together to achieve a common purpose, I do not see why it would not be a big problem for our country when, the president... I understand the grievance of some people that, look, during the inauguration, one would have expected the president to be more forthcoming, and there are problems, that he should confront rather than jet out of the country immediately. If that's the issue, then I will understand.
Okay.
But attending OIC, for me, if Jonathan, who is a Christian, saw the need to collaborate,
and
attended for the benefits of the entire nation. So if the Islamic countries put money together now and say, look, we are donating this to you, Nigeria as a country, to combat terrorism, are we going to say we reject it because they are Islamic countries?
Now, Chooks, earlier you had made the point that you didn't really have much against the whole affair, but that you feel you should have been put on sufficient notice.
Absolutely.
That's the issue, that you didn't know
not,
about it before the event had happened. You had traveled, and
what the agenda of the meeting was. If you didn't bring this information right now, I didn't even know that is. But like I said, my job from time, the way my brain is wired is to constantly be submissive to authority, whether it's in my family, in my church, in my nation. I've always been against those who constantly think that government and presidency say a bashing element. But what I have said, I've already said in my opening remarks. But we have a West African cooperative bloc here and all that. And I know that these people who have, members of this organization, they have issues in their own region, in the Middle East, the Yemen
and those issues are similar to our issues.
Absolutely. Now, whether we should constantly always take money from people to deal with issues, and we've done this with Russia, with Ukraine, with European Union, with the same whatever. The cure to our problem is here. That's the point I'm making. And if we manage our resources, we have enough resources in dealing with Boko Haram or whatever it is that we're doing. And most of them, like, I've just written an article and posted it on Facebook. As a matter of fact, if you go to my Facebook, I am saying instead of being rude or being disrespectful to authority, what I normally would do is to speak to a high authority. I have said something to Trump yesterday, that there's need for him to help us, we Christians in this country. I cannot be rude to the Mr. President. I'm his lover and his supporter. But instead of being rude to him, I would rather make a case to a high authority. A high authority for me right now is Trump, God and Trump. And I have said that, look, this man, our president is not speaking to the Fulanese, and it's not speaking to the herdsmen. And our people are dying. So you need to stand up for us. Subsequently, I prayed yesterday in church, and I've been praying. So I think that what the presidency can do is listen to some of the grievances that we have, or is it criticisms, so that we can, especially if it's done in good light, you know. If I want to criticize, I should do it nicely so that you can get the point. The point that I'm making is that I didn't get enough information, like many other people. But these people you are going to go and meet, they have issues. The Qatar and Saudi Arabia, they are not in good terms. There's war going on in Yemen. And you know the relationship that has existed between Yemen and Saudi Arabia for centuries. The proximity. You have Iran and all the problems. They need to resolve that. Ours is smaller compared to what they have in that place.
But
so if you're going,
but extremism is being exported allegedly from that axis.
Yeah,
and
we
so
can deal with our border. We can deal with our immigration. We can handle it. We have the resources.
But we can go to the source. Maybe I was the thinking that you got to go to the source of.
You see, no, it's money that they have gone. If you listen, I didn't hear what you were reading. It's about money.
I didn't put money there.
It's about money that are brought that is supposed to help our agriculture.
Okay.
If you read Punch of this today, you see pictures of people who are farmers. Food is expensive in the market. So what, you know.
But the central point.
What I'm just saying, there should be effective communication between leadership and followers in our country.
Okay. For me, communication is a two-way thing. Why not trying to indict my brother here as a journalist?
I am not a journalist. I'm a businessman who publishes a magazine.
Okay.
I'm a publisher.
As a publisher, I think also it is a responsibility at some point to seek information. Because as somebody also who know...
Talking about seeking information, on a good day, I should call my friend Femi. But you know, when you... I don't want to go into the details. You are right when you say seek information. On a good day that I'm coming here, last night,
Femi as in Femi Adesina,
yes,
the presidential
he's my friend before he got into government.
I just wanted to put him in.
I should have called Olufemi Oke this morning. That what informed this opinion. Seeking information is the easiest thing to do. But you know, in National Assembly, I call them. I get my people in Abuja. Call this senator who is managing MDGs. Let's know whatever. In fact, the last time I called one of them, the guy picked the call, and he was just went on the phone snoring. And when I got tired, I switched off my phone.
You know, but that's an aside. For me, really, I think, as somebody also who is in the media, who is called upon at some point, I don't sit down for information to come to me. I go out, all out, to look for it. What are these reasons? To form an opinion. What are the reasons for these decisions?
Okay.
Femi is not my friend.
You're relating to the point that it wasn't widely enough broadcast what the purpose of the visit was and why it had to happen so very shortly after his inauguration.
I blame government for that because...
Well, you know, you couldn't have postponed the meeting that would have been long set.
No, but you see, we are here now discussing. For a lot of people also will be educated with our discourse here because also government... You know, the government information management is, especially this government, it's not robust enough. There's need to consistently, you have 2 media advisors. There's need to consistently engage the public. Because now we have so divided, we have never been this divided. And so if you engage the public, a lot of people, even people who are your supporters will be able to have information to give. And in the absence of information, rumor thrives. And so you don't blame people because people will consistently look for information. And so when there is none, you don't blame mischief maker for filling in the gap with rumors. But if there are information coming from you, people can say, well, just like Somebody sends you a fake news on WhatsApp, and then you go and you confirm and you confront him with the authentic one. That ends the matter. But in the absence of information, there'll be rumor. And so that's why, as this is a laudable collaboration that shouldn't be in any way, we shouldn't read religion into it.
Maybe the part that
these people might have their...
It was to discuss matters of common interests and come up with a global stance.
Yes, these countries might have their challenges, which is way above ours. But that also does not stop them. We can, because theirs didn't start overnight. If we also do not learn from them, ours might get to the position theirs is now. So the essence of collaboration can never be underrated. And so whether their problem is bigger than ours or is smaller than ours, the essence is they are coming together to collaborate. Whether it's for financial gain, if we say that we are so rich we don't need assistance, that's also, it's a lie. No matter how rich we are, we also need, if you can have the money but you don't have the ideas, you can have the ideas and you don't have the money. And we know that also, presently speaking, financially, we are not that stable. And so for me, let's leave religion completely out of this.
And focus on combating terrorism and violent extremism.
Exactly. And so that will also help in educating people. If the source, some persons you claim, oh yes, this is the source of Islamic religion, and they also are coming together to combat extremism. That is a point that also should be encouraged.
One moment, please. I'm coming straight back to you. Mazi Okoroafo, Inarochukwu, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Niboros, and good morning, sir. Woko.
Wow, Mazi, good morning.
You see, we need national conference for the Christians and Muslims religion. That is to say, CAN and the Muslim Brigade Board, the Christian Brigade Board and Muslim, they should come together at national conference so that the two bodies will sit down and tell Nigerians exactly the objectives so that we can achieve the goals. Now, you ask yourself, after Bangladesh proclamation that you don't say during the military era, after that, what do we see? We see Abiola and Sheikh Baba. Are they not Muslims? What happened? Is it not Nigeria that voted for them? Did we have any controversy? What we are having today? We didn't have it because it doesn't say that Nigeria will just move it, nobody cares. What we have to do is that you see food on your table. Matter end. We move forward. The issue we have now in this country is that we have this problem of artificial intelligence. If Nigeria will just queue up into this artificial intelligence, it will help us because our level of illiteracy is a major problem because we don't want to sit down and learn. When you bring Bible, you bring Quran, you see that all these things are moving together. But the thing is that the way we pronounce them and the way we interpret it is a major problem with Nigeria. Because if, for example, I'm a Christian, do you know how many people that are with me that are working together? Even the guy that did my property in Amshuku, or we work together. They are all Muslims. Most of the drivers we have here, how many? At least 3/4 are Muslims. Do we care what we got? We need the services to be moving on. Everybody's good. We have systems. We have when they're moving. Who cares? Time for their son that they go. When they bring they go and all of them we stay together. But a situation whereby we carry religion as a major factor for development, it will not work. Let's keep away all these religious bigotry and think positive for them. Thank God for what Pastor Kumu said, that we should be praying for our leaders.
Yeah.
We should not matter which type of religion. Thank you very much. May God bless all of us and keep all of us in this country in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okoroafo.
The point that I must also make is that what he just said is correct. If you come to where I live, the area where I live, I'm well known in the area. Me and Alhaji Bakari, we live together. The guy who is my next door neighbor, a young man, he's a Muslim. And we've been living here. I was on one of your programs where a related issue was discussed. We have always lived together. The problem we have is a leadership problem. We had it in 1996 when we had this fraudulent and serpentine arrangement where we are drafted into this organization. And for me, it is not a religious For a lot of people, it's not a religious matter.
Okay.
If I have food on my table today, I'm sure that this man will not like it. Shoaib, I would have mentioned his other surname. He works in an organization. Today, if I have food to eat and I have clothes on my back, it's because of this guy. He's from Kogi State. He's a Muslim guy who went to ABU. There are so many people that if I start naming them, every time I go out to do evangelism, on Wednesday I'm going to do evangelism, I'm going to take the Bible out. I have a carton in my car right now. On Wednesday when we go out, they come asking me for these Bibles. I will give it out to them. We have lived together here. What the problem, which I said to you at the beginning, that because TV is very fast and radio is very fast, sometimes people don't hear you. They just assume what you're saying. What I have said here is that the absence of effective communication is what is causing some of the problems that we have here. This is not a Buhari's problem. Because like I said to you also, when Chief Obasanjo was president... So
it's like you feel shortchanged for not knowing
Well, not really shortchanged, just trying to bring it to the open.
In terms of
that
communication.
For them, they also a responsibility
Okay.
to communicate effectively with to us. Every time they have something going on like they used to do at the inception of this government, if you go to my Facebook page and you open the MDG Global Magazine, you will see all the press releases, which that we're able to disseminate on their behalf, letting people know what government intentions are. And I gave you an example of what the office of the Vice President just did.
I got a UK call that's been holding on for a long while. Good morning, Mr. Babatunde in Manchester.
Good morning.
Babatunde, Manchester, good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Please go ahead.
God bless Nigeria.
Amen.
Yeah, I said God bless Nigeria. The lawyer there, I want to thank you for your explanation about topic. It's a very sensitive topic, and I thank you very much. You've really spoken, in fact, my mind. Those people that are sponsoring those terrorists from all these countries. So if we don't find a way to stop those people that are sponsoring them, what we are passing through, Mr. The lawyer there, you have spoken, and it's well spoken. Please, let's be calm. Why can't the Christians, why can't they have the organization of Christian association all over the world, where we too can discuss about this thing? These people, when you see, we are talking about securing countries, criticizing them, either financially or morally or whatever. Stop criticizing. As Okumoya has spoken, you can only pray for your leader in the Bible. So let's continue praying for wisdom for our president. He's trying his best. He's doing his best. Like you said to Trump. Trump is in UK now. Come and see how people are protesting. He's not doing anything. He's just causing problem up and down.
All right then. Thank you very much, Babatunde.
Pray for our leaders.
Indeed.
Right.
Thank you very much, which is exactly, you're reiterating Pastor Kumuyi's message. Pastor Kumuyi of Foursquare Gospel Church.
No, Deeper Life.
Deeper Life. Deeper Life is not Foursquare. Deeper Life. Deeper Life. Not Foursquare. But they're all brothers. All of them are brothers. But Deeper Life.
Yes.
And so his sermon yesterday was on this particular point. So you got to pray for your leaders. But the important thing is that, look, this Organization of Islamic Cooperation meeting in Mecca, which is the holiest city, for Muslims. I understand maybe that's where the whole emotionalism came through. But the point is made that the attendance was really, for all these countries to unite, come together to fight terrorism and violent extremism, which everybody preaches against. Now, perhaps if people had known that, that's where maybe I might lean a bit towards what Chooks has been saying. Maybe if people had seen that up front before the whole this divide, there's Islamic in the name of that body. and I'm a Christian, so I've got to take issues.
They
very-
have banks that
you know.
bring money to this place,
Exactly.
and people are empowered.
So maybe
that is clear to us.
So-
Money comes in
so
through
the
this
point he's been making is
Islamic bank and all that, and
Yeah.
you know, and you can access it at interest free and all that and all that.
So the-
if we don't know what this
So
one
the
is,
point you
people
seem
will
to be making is that look, you got to communicate properly.
effective
And that there was
I-
defective communication is that, now that I'm hearing that, you mean it was about combating extremism and terrorism? No, I don't have a problem with that. Might be the way a lot of
You
people.
see, I told you that.
Let me, before you launch, let me take Joshua in Irewale, and then I'll come straight back to you. Good morning, Joshua.
Okay, very good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much.
And I greet your panelists.
Yes.
I think this well. I just want to add that Nigeria is not divided as we are saying. We are not more divided than we have been. We have Christianity, we have Islam, and we have our social, cultural groups and all that. We've been distinct in our different ways, and our diversity has been the source of strength for us. It is the elite that are dividing Nigeria, talking about us being divided because their economic interests, which borders around corruption, is being decimated. You see, the problem is we have come to a time when we have to realize that we are equal. We are all human beings. Christians, Muslims, it's time to talk to ourselves. There's nothing like Islamization agenda. I'm a Christian. Nobody can make me a Muslim. There's no force under the world that can do that. The president, his vice, are Christian Muslims. So every time we have somebody coming up to say, somebody is trying to make Nigeria a Muslim nation and all that, I think it's just a cheap blackmail. We need to outgrow all of that, outgrow all this fear. We need to combat terrorism. And I actually agree, too, that the leadership of the communication network for the president, they need to improve on their communication. I agree. But we are not divided. We are only talking about our problems, and our issues have been addressed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in. I had to interrupt you.
I repeat, if we are not divided, these issues won't be on the top burner. But
okay.
that's a different topic for another day. And talking about communication.
In other words, there is a fault line.
Yes, there is, absolutely. And that's why you need to communicate effectively to bridge the gap, because those people who are dividing us are communicating daily. They are not waiting for you. The moment you take a step, they communicate. They read meaning into your step. So because you leave a void by not communicating why you're taking that step and the fact that you're taking a step. And so people will read, meaning into it, and then you begin to react rather than being proactive. And that's why there's need to consistently engage the people, let them know. And then the rest of us can take it from there and chew. And, but in the absence of information, in the absence of communication, those people, rumor will thrive. It's natural. It's because at every turn, people want information. And so, because now, religion
people are suspicious.
Religion and also because now the killings, we can't rule out the fact that people are dying senselessly. And so when government is not communicating its effort and response are not swift, there is bound to be this, suspicion. And so mischief maker, we capitalize on those suspicions, to heighten the fear and create room of, to further divide us.
Okay.
And that's where government there are enormous benefits in this collaboration.
Yes.
Communication will solve all of that.
Comrade Ayo, in Oshobo, thank you very much for holding on. Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yoli.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to our guests in the studio. Uncle Yoli, you see, we have a problem here in this country. Our leaders use various things to divide us when it suits them the most. One of these is religion. They use religion to divide us when it suits them the most. For crying out loud. Uncle Yori, I am a Christian. My grandpa is a Muslim and a Imam for that matter. I have cousins, nephews who are Muslim, and we cohabit together peacefully. So why do we have to come out with all this propaganda, Islamization, Fulanization? In 1999, it was offshore and onshore dichotomy. In 2003, it was militancy. This time around, we are having Islamization, Fulanization. See, if you want to solve our problem, just one single thing will solve 70% of our problem we have now. Improve on our economy. Let it trickle down to the ordinary man on the street. Let the ordinary man on the street feel the impact of government by having food on his table. See, all these things will fizzle away. Honestly speaking, we will solve 70% of all these problems. But unfortunately, those who are benefiting immensely from the corrupt practices, from the sharp practices, want it to continue, and they will come out with all sorts of things, and they have collaborations and allies in the religious leader. You know the influence Islamic clerics, pastors have on their followers, and they are capitalizing on that to divide us. Only those who are a little bit informed know what is going on. But those who follow their religious leader dogmatically will not believe whatever is coming out from government, honestly speaking. Yes, I want to agree that communication gap is giving us problems, yes. But let me tell you, Uncle Yori, no amount of communication will come out from government. Those mischief makers will know how to twist and brainwash their followers. Until we gradually all believe in one Nigeria, in the Nigerian project, forget about whether I'm an Igbo, and I'm a Yoruba man, or I'm an Hausa man. If you all believe in Nigeria, that Nigeria is our country, that we don't have anywhere to go, then we'll move forward. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Comrade Ayo.
Do you know what this guy just said now?
Yeah.
The most traumatic period of our nationhood has passed by. It was after the 2015 election and ministers were sworn in, appointed. It took a while before they were appointed. Just watch what is going to happen when we have the next level ministers and all that and all that. You are going to see what is going to happen. People will start sending text messages, WhatsApp messages. They will start telling you, I used to be a Muslim, now I am a Christian. This is to minimize that. If you see what happened to me after 2015 election, people were sending things to me. Those things, if you venture to read them, that is, you will develop high blood pressure if you don't have the wisdom to ignore some of those things. To minimize that is the reason I'm insisting that there's need for this communication. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you disarm these politicians, because once they are not, he said that much, once they are not appointed as ministers, once they have not been able to win an election, appointed or find themselves like corridors of power, they will start manufacturing these creative write-ups and be sending it, this thing and all that. That is why I expected some sensitivity.
With the outcome of the election
Absolutely.
Are going to
they will now gang up
Yes.
and sit together and compose these text messages, send it to their loved ones. Those ones will now start sending it to all the people in their contact to minimize the effect of that, because it had a negative effect on me. In fact, there's a friend of mine in Calabar who used to work in, and I asked him once, why are you sending this thing to me? You are sending it to me so that I can go to the street to go and start carrying placard, or what is the essence? So we must be smart enough to address our leaders nicely by saying you must endeavor to communicate. Hire PR people, hire communication experts.
Let's even take this home.
And let them communicate.
Let's take this home a bit. Obasanjo's presidency, of what good was it to the average Otaman?
Exactly.
Jonathan's presidency, of what good was he to the Otoke man? The poor Otoke woman in the village is still going to river to fish and all of that. It has not improved their lives. And Buhari's presidency today, Katsina is being ravaged by killers. Zamfara, the same thing. And so, when our leaders sit down and say, oh, they have not given us a slot, it is not about us. It's about him. It's about that person. And if we take out time to really, call out names and understand the issues and do effective communication, let people understand that some of these persons who are crying religion and ethnicity, at night they sit down to wine and dine with this same government.
Yeah.
When Christian clerics visit governors and presidents and they give them thanks for coming, you don't hear of it.
Okay.
Everybody goes with something and you never hear of it.
But maybe
the same
not all
thing,
of them accept, though.
whether they
Maybe not all of them
maybe. The same thing with the Muslim cleric, when they
some
all
have
go
protested
and
before.
they collect something and you never hear of it. But the moment there is nothing for the boys, you hear, oh, this move, it's...
Okay, I'm going to bring in Bona. Bona's been holding on in Ireland. Good morning, Bona.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
Yeah, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Okay. My contribution is just a little bit. I would like you guys to invite those in government to make their own whatever they think they want to do for the country. You called one of those people in government, because it's like those people you are discussing with every time. It's like rumor also, because they are not telling you what government has at the heart. So government people have to come to the studio, explain. Here in UK, you can see every Sundays they will call the opposition, the people in government. Everybody will say what they want to do for the people.
Bona.
Yeah.
It is not a rumor that meeting was to get the 57 member countries to unite, work together to combat terrorism and violent extremism. There's no rumor about that. That was the purpose.
No.
That was the purpose of all of their meeting. The central purpose.
No.
Hello? That was the central purpose. To come together to fight extremism, violent extremism and terrorism. That was the central purpose. There's no rumor about that. You can't be against that. Bona, you can't be against fighting extremism and terrorism.
Okay. Just hold on.
Bona has gone because yes.
But quickly,
because this is an aspect of it. I think what happened is that the Islamic part of the name of the body, Islamic part just jumped out.
There is a foundation for it, because, like I said, now we use religion and ethnicity, as a card.
So when Muslims are going around,
that's why
it's a wild example I'm making. So when Muslims are going around saving people's lives, you're going to say no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You're Muslim.
That's why you said something before the program, and maybe I will have to bring two Muslims, because that's the way we see things now. You go to an event, they say a prayer, you say no, the Christians have said a prayer, let the Muslims say their prayer. But if you look at the second stanza of our national anthem, O God of creation, direct our noble course, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true, great lofty height attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. I've never seen a prayer as great for a nation as that prayer. But we completely abandon it.
You took that out of our first national anthem, right?
The national anthem,
the
second stanza. Yes, the correct one.
The current one, is it?
Yes, the second stanza. That's a national prayer.
Indeed.
It covers all aspects. But when you hear the Christian prays, the Muslim must pray, we spend 30 minutes praying. And at the end of the day, sorry, quickly.
The absence of leadership.
At the end of the day.
Both you gentlemen, let me quickly squeeze in, if I can, Ojo, calling in from Oshogbo. Good morning, Ojo.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. I just want to commend your panelists there. And for Gal Liboro, I always like his comment anytime. Because it's always...
Liboro, We understand who Liboro is.
What I mean, among your panelists there.
OTM.
So what
Liboro, everything that you said was adopted by that guy, and I think the point that I think the point that
can I say something? Sure. I'm a Christian.
In closing,
I haven't.
Because
yes,
we've run out of time.
I am a Christian. I have never in the last 3, 4, 5 years been in tandem with what people mentioned here can. There was one time they were saying that they're Islamizing Nigeria and that this won't happen. If you fly any of the Middle East airline, the people who work in those airlines, I've interacted with them. Where are you from? They come from small countries in the eastern part of Europe. Why can't our people work there? Those airlines belong to UAE, belong to businessmen and the government of UAE. So what I'm saying
is that religion out of our government business. Take religion out of it.
That we live in today.
Yes.
All of those things have been diminished. The point that I'm saying here, that must be communication. That's the message I pass today.
Effective communication. It's a long-standing problem. It's a long-standing complaint with a lot of Nigerians.
If I would collaborate with Babalawo for the benefit of my community, why shouldn't I do it, provided people are benefiting? And so, if Islamic nations are coming together to collaborate to fight a common enemy, right on, we should do it.
Thank you, Libros. Libros Oshoma, lawyer and public affairs analyst. Liboro, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure always.
And Chuks Moko, publisher and social commentator. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your perspectives. That's our program. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.